guys, Ralph here. True Power, Trumpet Fitness, and welcome to Terrific Tuesday. Tuesday's all right at the moment. We are expecting a big snowstorm tonight into tomorrow. Power outages, they are warnings. So if I don't put anything up tomorrow, you know what happened. It should be all right. It should be all right. But anyway, that's the deal. So anyway, I got a lot of feedback about two things. A lot of feedback about Frank Catarabic and a lot of feedback about the mouthpieces. I'll do Frank tomorrow, and we'll do the mouthpieces today. Okay? So let's see what we got. I have played very, very little today. We'll see what we got. Double C's and a little trumpet shell sound. A couple cacks on the trills. I'm used to playing it on A pick, and that's B flat. So I got a little turned around. Anyway, I told you, flooded with things about Frank Catarabic. Guys studied with him and all that sort of thing. Lots of things about the mouthpieces. Okay, I got three things for the mouthpieces, and as I said, I do not use names. The cynic out there could think that I'm making this all up, but I do not use names for the sole reason that these are top, very visible players, and we get this information as we're talking, you know, on the phone or whatever like that. And I just don't want to subject these top players to the trolls that I'm subjected to every day, okay? But trust me, they are terrific players. The one I'm going to talk about is from Florida. Okay. Now, he, lifelong pal of Jerry's. Okay. And because of that, he was playing, I believe, an old Sima trumpet. I'm not sure. And I believe it was the W46 mouthpiece, or the 6, I'm not sure. But he's playing one of Jerry's older mouthpieces. And it does wonderful. Plays lead in his jazz band and plays around South Florida and all that sort of thing. Chops are terrific. But anyway, he calls Jerry up out of the blue and says, I have to have the 1SB. Jerry hasn't heard from him in so long. I said, what? As it turns out, a guy that normally plays with him in one of his bands showed up out of the blue with a 1SB and was killing it. The jump in his performance was so profound. A 2-hour rehearsal, or was it a performance? I'm not even sure. He ended with a D above double C that my friend says, Jerry's friend, just brought the walls down. And this guy knows about power. Again, he's been one of Jerry's guys for 30 years or more, right? Couldn't believe the sound. And this is a guy that usually is not overpowering like that. And he says the difference and he just had it for a couple days. He said, Jerry, I need it. Got to have it. Send it down. So we got one there. Another one, after I did the video the other day, I'm going to say about a half an hour after the video was up, I got a call, again, from one of the top trumpet players in New York. Not only was a top trumpet player, he sent a video of him playing trombone, doing all the Tommy Dorsey stuff. I mean, just as clean and as pure and as effortless. Now, he's been with Jerry a while. And guys, when you get this right, the world is your oyster. The brass world, not just the trumpet world. The brass world is your oyster. And I've demonstrated that many times on this video. Anyway, he had a thought about the 1SC. Now, he did play the 1SC. And if you remember my video, I've never played the 1SC. Now, what he has, he literally has all three. Now, this is a guy that works a lot with a wide array of different musical situations. Everything from the classical, subbing with the symphony in lower parts to lead on Broadway to, and everything in between. Club dates, funk bands, right? So anyway, he's got all three. He prefers the 1SB. 95% of the time, he prefers the 1SB, okay? But the 1SS is always in the case, in case he gets into a situation. Now, normally, he agrees with me, the 1SB, since it's so relaxed, you can adjust the timbre to absolutely blend, especially on the lower parts with a Bach mouthpiece is no problem. Especially if they're playing C trumpet and you're playing a B flat. Oh, please, there is no problem at all. Okay? But every once in a while, when he gets into classical things and the guys are so tubby, no problem. Just pick up the 1SS and he's got it. It's as simple as that. There is no change whatsoever. Very, very little adjustment. Okay? Just one to the other, and it immediately changes the timbre of the tone. Now, could you play the 1SS as a lead mouthpiece? Yes, and I'll get to that in a second. That's the third guy. Yes, absolutely. But the 1SB is just so much easier for a lead situation that you don't bother. Okay, now here's the thing. He keeps the 1SC there for specifically one situation. Now check this out. He does a lot of work. So if he's got something till all hours of the night, and then he's got to get up and first thing in the morning and play something, very delicate, that's where the 1SC, he says, is perfect. Gives him all the control that he needs, all the notes that he needs, but there's just a little bit more room. If, not always, if he's a little stiff, a little sore, the 1SC is perfect for that. So if, now again, I am not in a position anymore that I have all these different things that I have to go to day or night. If I did, I would definitely keep the 1SS in the case just for safekeeping. The 1SB, the more relaxed you get, it's just good for all occasions. But the 1SC, at some point, maybe I'll just get it and let you guys know what it's all about. Okay? Now, here's another one. You're going to like this one. This is my guy from Vegas, and once again, terrific player. And guys, the 1SS, 1SB, and 1SC is just taking over Las Vegas. Top guys are playing it. Now, he initially got the 1SS and the 1SB. Now, I gave him a lesson last night. Okay, so this is fresh in my mind. Now, he's the guy that I told you a couple of videos ago. He got off, he had a cold sore right there and just lost all compression. Now, this is 3 weeks later. He sounds like a different person. Got the compression back. Now, remember, he had the compression before. He lost it because of the cold sore. All I had to do was spit buzz, and it just came back very, very quickly. Okay? But he wants me to hold his hand for the next, as long as it takes right up to the double C. And it's a short time now, as you're going to hear. Okay? Now, he got the 1SS and the 1SB together. Now, he's definitely a lead trumpet type of guy and overblowing. No question about it. We've talked about this a zillion times, so he's not home going, oh, don't talk about me. Like, he knows what we're saying. Okay? And the 1SS allowed him to overblow. The 1SB didn't. He just cut right off. Okay? So, if you are coming from that point of view, initially, the 1SS might feel better to you. Okay? Now, it got to the point where he's so comfortable with the 1SS, and he didn't see himself ever playing the 1SB, he sold the 1SB. So there's another 1SB going around Vegas. The guy's killing it. Okay? But before 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes before last night's lesson, the 1SC comes in the mail. And I said, you know what? Just put it right in and let's see what we got. And I'm telling you, It's like a bulb went off above his head. Everything was just so much easier. Everything I said about the tongue and the bottom lip, and we tweaked his bottom lip a little bit. I'll get to that before the week is out. Oh, it's just a tweak. Don't sweat it. Everything we talked about as far as the chops were concerned, all of a sudden just made more sense because he wasn't overblowing. Now, he gave a little bit more room than 1SB, so he could punch it a little. He's still overblowing too much, but now, 3 weeks ago, he could squeak and squawk up to an F. I guess because of the cold sore, he just lost all compression. Yesterday, the G's and A flats were as big as a house, and I'm telling you, the double C is right around the corner. I don't refuse to put time limits on it because I've got killed so many times with that. But it was so, and also with every single student, at some point I always say, it could just be a Clark study, or it could be an Arbin study, or it could be a scale. Play like you are playing with one violin, and it's got to be in a whisper. Bum, 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 bum. Every single time when the chops are right, they can do it no problem. He couldn't do that before because if you take the air out of the way, and all of a sudden his chops wouldn't hold. But his pianissimo is magnificent. His high G's could play with Maynard, and the double C's are right around the corner. So guys, there is a spot for guys for all three of them. And I fully expect this guy at somewhere point down the road, he's going to buy the 1SB again and have all three. And he's got it. He's absolutely got it. So guys, that is 3 top players who have different levels of success. And the Mouthpiece is just glorious. And I told you, I've never said this before. And a year and a half ago, I never would have thought that these words come out of my mouth. But there is one group of mouthpieces that works for everybody. It has no difference what type of music you're playing. It has no difference what your physiology is. Well, I have big lips. Okay? Doesn't matter. If the chops are right, you will be able to play this mouthpiece and play it better than anything out there. So that's that. I'm getting long-winded, and I got to get off. And we'll talk about Frank Catarabic tomorrow. Very interesting stuff. Okay. Love you all. Eat and drink fruits and vegetables, and we will see you tomorrow.